Well, Joanna Tan is regional economist at Forecast. She joins us now. Joanna, there was a lot of hype around this new economic blueprint. Did it live up to all of that?
Well, pretty much the measures, the policies have been floating around for quite a while, not exactly new radical changes. First and foremost, the GST idea has been around for quite some time, and with regards to this, the government is probably going to take a very cautious approach given the past widespread opposition to this, and I do see that they will probably start off with a rather small quantum before easing the rates higher over time. You know, with the public consultations going on and further details are only out in June, we probably won't see much changes within this year. Now, on the other hand, the targeted subsidies reform will be something probably a bit much harder to push through. You know, as the economy goes through recovery, commodity prices are going to go up, and if subsidies are cut at this time, consumers are going to face a double whammy, especially for the lower income. So,
Joanna, this plan was billed as a new economic model, and I stress economic, but the data that came out seemed to be more about social harmony, balance, affirmative action. So in some ways, did it really miss the mark?
Not exactly so. It's quite a challenge for PM Najib to push through reforms without assuring the majority Malay community that this is going to benefit them in the long run, and hence the emphasis for a more social message coming through.
Joe, you say there's not much of a paradigm shift here in terms of the new economic model, and there's going to be probably an enhanced focus on the centres of excellence that already prevail in Malaysia: right. Islamic finance, tourism, the electronic and electrical industry.
Yes. Well, they have identified the key areas where are engines of growth. Definitely Malaysia has been trying to build a presence as Islamic finance sector, and we see last year PM Najib unveiling quite a few financial liberalization measures. Tourism will definitely remain a good diversification from its manufacturing base, and electronic and electrical has always been a mainstay of Malaysia's manufacturing sector. But probably what they're going to try to do is to, facing competition from lower cost, centers of production around the region, they're going to try to up their game, try to differentiate themselves as probably a more knowledge-based, a more high-tech, but at the same time still low-cost center of production.
I guess there's going to be a focus then on talent.
Yeah, that's right. So probably we could see some changes and rules bring in foreign talents, and also in the local educational system.
Looking forward, Joe, do you think the Prime Minister has enough political support to really steer through these reforms and changes towards a new economic model? Because as we know, and as we've been talking about, the race-based affirmative action, his incremental approach to reforming that, it still has proved very divisive.
That's right. So it's definitely going to be a challenge for him to move forth these reforms. He's probably going to take a very moderate, cautious approach, step action along the way. We're probably not going to see much radical changes, happening too quickly, overnight.
Let's talk about the broader economic outlook in 2010 for the remainder of the year and into 2011. Is inflation a risk for the Malaysian economy, given the fact that food prices are starting to rise?
They are starting to rise, but subsidies are still in place to keep prices down, and we have some fiscal buffer that obviously they're going to try and reform the subsidy system, but we probably won't see that coming through within this year. So inflation has and it's going to look rather benign, and BNN did a surprise rate hike just this month, but because of the inflation outlook, they are probably going to have enough policy space for interim pauses within the year. Probably in the May monetary meet, there are high risk of them increasing the rate by 25 basis points. When they have been emphasizing on further normalization if necessary. But I'm looking at for the end of the year, it's probably going to be about 2.75%. And for Malaysia's full year growth, probably looking at about 5.4%. Thereabouts. Recovery momentum is going to be relatively intact, but not without headwinds. Malaysia is still pretty much a very export-oriented economy, and is susceptible to all the downside risks in the global economy.
Right. Good to know.
Got it. It's been great speaking with you today. Thank you so much, Joanna Tan, regional economist at Forecast.